you guys feeling? All right.
Nug Life Radio is a cannabis education program here to dispel myths about cannabis, like it causes short-term memory loss. Our goal is to dispel myths about cannabis, like it causes short-term memory loss. And the function of this cannabis education program is to dispel myths about cannabis, like it causes short-term memory loss. What?
Welcome back to the Nug Life Radio Show. CDC tells doctors to stop urine testing patients for THC.
Yeah.
CDC is the Center for Disease Control, and THC, obviously, tetrahydrocannabinol, the good stuff that's in our marijuana. Why are they doing that?
They say clinicians should not dismiss patients from care based on a urine drug test result because this could constitute patient abandonment and could have adverse consequences for patient safety.
That's right.
Potentially including the patient obtaining opioids from alternative sources and the clinician missing opportunities to facilitate treatment for substance use disorder.
Well, it's amazing what happens when the pharmaceutical companies start putting their hooks into the
Yeah, because,
say it.
Right now,
Cannabidiol.
if you're taking opioids, they will drug test you from time to time,
right,
from what I understand.
Wow.
And if they find THC in there, or THC metabolites.
Right, they stop your prescriptions, everything's done, they kick you out of the doctors.
Yes.
My mother-in-law had to go through that.
And they're saying they don't want you to do that now, doctors.
That's too bad. Our guest on the show today, one of our favorites. I'm watching. My 13-year-old son is just floating around the studio. Cannabis education comes in all ages. I'll kick your butt if I ever caught you. 760-798-3127 is the name of the show that you are listening to, is Nug Life Radio. And our next guest is Blast from our past, super cannabis patient Janice Patton. Janice, are you there?
Yes, I am, Mike. Thank you for having me on the show.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Still hanging in there after 2.5 years.
Amen. Last time we had you in, you were discussing with us how you were able to avoid brain surgery through the use of cannabis oil, and that it is keeping the spinal fluids at a lower pressure. Forgive me if my memory's...
No, your memory has served you right. That's correct. I have a rare brain disease, and my body doesn't absorb the spinal fluid anymore. So the doctor had prescribed me to do a risky brain surgery that they told me I wouldn't survive. And I've known a lot of people that have gone ahead and had that one surgery, which has led to them to have several more. Recently, just a 17-year-old girl that I met just lost her life in brain surgery, having that shunt put in that she really didn't need to have put in. I have been on the cannabis oil for 2.5 years and have not had to have that surgery because it is keeping the spinal pressure down.
So why do you think that the doctors aren't giving this to everybody? I mean, if it's obviously saving lives, especially in your situation, do you argue with them, or do you have to keep it a secret that you're using cannabis?
You know, I've told my doctors. I have 7 different doctors that I see, and I've told them all that I do use cannabis oil. None of them really support it, but the reason they don't support it, Mike, is because there's no federal research that's been done for people with my disorder and other disorders. There's no nothing medical through the federal government that they've done any studies so that, the doctors can go ahead and do what they want to.
I've never personally...
their hands are tied.
Janice, I've never personally seen a federal study that shows me that oxygen is beneficial to my body, and that federally speaking, if you deprive me of oxygen, I might not survive that process. But I know, because I see others, that cannabis is just a fantastic thing, and you're living proof.
I really am, Mike. I'm so glad you had me on the show so that I could share this with people, especially people with my disease, which is idiopathic intracranial hypertension.
I was just going to say that.
Hopefully I'll reach a few of these patients, and let them know that there is a viable treatment besides Diamox, which is the prescribed medicine that they give you when they first find out that you have it.
And what are the side effects of Diamox?
The side effects are it shuts your kidneys down, which is what it did to me. I had to stop taking Diamox because your body doesn't filter it, so it binds up in your kidneys and it causes giant kidney stones, which are, I had to have surgery on both kidneys because of that. I mean, in this country, they're over-medicating our vets. I mean, 22 vets take their own lives every day. We need more federal support. We need our votes to start counting. There are millions of people with serious illnesses in this country and all over the world, and they're looking for more natural ways to deal with their pain and the other side effects that come with their illnesses.
So have you personally had any new improvements with your cannabis therapies in the last year or so since we spoke?
Well, I'm sitting here talking to you.
That is good.
Yeah, it's I've ran out of this oil because it is expensive to make if you're making it on your own, and I take a large amount of it, so it can be quite extensive, the amount that I need. So what it's doing, it's just it's a miracle. I mean, I'm off my diabetic medication.
Yes,
I don't have to take my high blood pressure medication anymore. I mean, it's done nothing but improve my life. But I went 3 days without it once, Mike, and I had to have a spinal tap, and I was in the hospital.
Oh, and a spinal tap, if you don't know, is where they stick the needle right into your spine there at the bottom. It's like the most unpleasant thing I think you can do in the testing of medicine.
Yes, and that's been the only time since I started this medicine that I've had to do it, and it's because I ran out. So now before that, I had to have spinal taps constantly, and it got so bad that it takes 2 people to get the needle in because of scar tissue.
Oh, goodness.
I don't want to go back to that, and I don't want to die. I have a 10-year-old daughter. And, Mike, it's important to know that there are people like me out there that are really dependent on cannabis to live. It's not a choice that we made. It's not our fault that cannabis is the only thing that treats our illness. And people that are judging it, that are harsh about it, I mean, what if it was your family member, and they didn't have a choice,
I wish that... I wish that, and that's absolutely correct, but I wish that when it came to medicating, the government would just kind of let you do what we know already, because right now they are shutting it down for cannabidiol.
Yeah.
And they basically have sent out letters to 8 large CBD companies saying that they have to stop manufacturing it in any way, shape, or form, and just stop. And you're talking thousands of patients through the network that are going to be affected.
A lot of those are kids. Kids with seizures really need the high CBD oil.
Is oil the only way that you can get it effectively as medicine? I mean, are you able to, let's say, eat trays of medicated brownies or something? Are you still going to get the CBDs and CBNs inside your system?
If you make the medibles right, yeah. If you make the medibles with the dose amount that you need, sure, you can get it in that way.
That's a good. We were actually discussing that today. If there was, because a lot of people, the oil is $500 to $600, what, a week or a month? Yeah,
well, mine's extensively more than that. Mine's $3,000 a month.
You got the good stuff.
Well,
is it like a strain name to that? Why is it so costly?
Well, hey, the best strain for my illness is Blackberry Kush.
Oh, you know what, girl? I got to smoke out with Redman on Blackberry Kush.
Oh, yes.
That is a very extremely... if you've ever smelled the flower, it's a musk, like it's a foot, but like a good foot. Yeah. Like imagine the person you love took a nice shower, but then they ran around the block 8 times in a new shoe. Like it's that foot. Old sock, though.
It is, but it's good stuff. It's good medicine.
So what do you think? Do you have to have the same grower every time making your medicine, or it has to be off that same, let's say, batch because you have maybe problems with consistency issues?
There's a tolerance issue. I do have to switch it up. I have a grower, but I also grow and make my oil myself.
Allegedly.
And then also my daughter has a card. It takes that many people and that much to keep me alive.
Wow. And your daughter has a caretaker's card so she's able to help you legally?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't know about. If you have, a lot of people are in situations where they can't, let's say, grow for themselves or tend a garden because we're patients. These people are sick or dealing with some kind of an illness like epilepsy where, they can't be left alone. So somebody who is maybe in the family or one of your caretakers can get a caregiver card, and it doesn't make it legal for them to smoke, but it makes it legal for them to go out and get your meds for you, and just to be like mama's helper.
Exactly. Yeah, especially for days when I can't get out, it's always nice, that my caregiver or my grower can bring me what I need.
If they would start selling cannabis in an ice cream truck, we would have the market cornered.
They just plant it outside of my house, and they wouldn't have to go any further.
Janice, how do people, if they want to hear more about you, and I know you're doing a lot of speaking now?
Yes, I am. Yeah, a lot of public speaking, just trying to get the word out on a lot of the different illnesses that I see people treating with cannabis.
And how can people get a hold of you if they're at home right now and they're like, wow, I wish this show was longer. How can I find out more from Janice?
Well, just I'm on Facebook. I have a page, a public figure page, Granny Janice.
You're not a granny yet.
I am a granny, Mike. I'm 48 years old, and I have 3 granddaughters and a 10-year-old.
You're a young grandma.
Yeah.
That's not granny.
I know, and I want to become an old grandma.
There you go.
I'm hoping all your listeners will support when they go out to vote, and just support as close as you can to medical cannabis being federally legal.
All right, absolutely, Janice. Thank you so much for being on the show today. We love you, and please stay in touch with us and keep us updated. We want to hear how it's going, and anything you ever need from us, don't hesitate to call if you're looking for any kind of promo or you just want to talk to people. We're here. We don't do nothing but talk to people.
I may just hit you up for that, Mike. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, and all your listeners. Granny loves you, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. We love you. Have a great night.
Okay. Bye-bye. That's
Miss Janice Patton, Granny Janice. She's a hot granny.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not granny age yet. She's a grandmother. A guild. That's a grandmother I'd like to date. Take her out to a nice dinner.
Right.
Have her home by 8. This is Nug Life Radio Show. That was Janice Patton. Check her out. Please get yourself involved in the story. If something like that has happened to you or you know somebody, this might be a benefit to you. Or call up and let's get you booked on so you can be a benefit to somebody else. That's 760-798-3127. We still got Justin Cali coming up. And we're going to do the news with Benjie next. Nug Life Radio.
Yeah.
And Nug Life TV and all that good stuff.
Yo, Trey, True, and Petrifine. G-N-D. What the people want is the ganja. They give them what they want. What the people want, the government knows it's the ganja. G-A-N-J-A, they give them what they want, legalize using the ganja. So now when I perform the ganja, feds respect my honor. All thanks to Obama. I took a trip up to the doctor, told my pain he pondered. Ganja will ease your trauma. And for years they've been trying, pushing to legalize it. Even as green harvest hovered up in the sky spying. Politicians have tried it, and so is Tiger Woods. Even George Bush is known to puff the purple kush. And now thanks to our president, this herbal bush is legal in our residence. Classified as medicine. Skunk or elephant elements wanted highly, but ain't no ganja on the globe good as Hawaii. G-N-J-A, what the people want, and what they want.